Hi student, myself Venugopal. Today our topic is cell structure and functions from class 9th. Okay, so what is meant by cell? Here what is meant by cell? Cell is a structural and functional unit of life. It is a structural and functional unit of life. Functional unit of life. Every organism in the world is made up of cells. Okay, so that is a basic unit of life. It is a basic unit of life. Initially our body is made up of a group of cells. Okay, so let us see how. For example, if you take the any organism's body, okay, our body is made up of initially a group of cells. A group of cells forms the tissues. A group of cells forms the tissues. A group of tissues forms the organ. A group of tissues forms the organ. A group of organs forms the organ system. Organ system. A group of organ systems, number of organs forms the body, an organism's body. This is the importance of cells. That's why we call it as a basic unit of life. Every organism is made up of cells, just like how a wall is made out of a bricks. So, who discovers the cell? Who discovers the cell? Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke in 1665. He observes the cells in the cork cells. Cork cells. That means it is a dead cells. These are the dead cells. He observes the dead cells. Okay. Later, in 1674, there is another scientist, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek. He observes the cells in the living bodies. He observes the cells in the living bodies. Living bodies. He observes the cells in 1674. Okay, these are the discovery of cells. Because of the discovery of cells for the first time, Robert Hooke is also known as father of cell biology. Father of cell biology. Okay, this is the discovery of cell. In your lower classes, you already learnt about this. Cells are made up of some parts. So those parts are like nucleus, cytoplasm. I also learned about the cell membrane and other parts of the cell. So you also learned about the shapes of the cell. Shapes of the cell. So we already know about the cells are having different shapes. Some are having oval shape, some are in cylindrical shape, some are in round shape, some are in cubical shape. This way cells are having different shapes in different organisms. So you also learned about the sizes of the cell. You also learned about the sizes of the cell. We know that cells are small and microscopic. That means we can't see them with our naked eyes. But some of the examples. For example, we take the ostrich egg cell. Ostrich egg cell. This is the largest cell or biggest cell in the living world. Biggest cell in the living world. We can see them with our naked eyes. Okay. Next one, you also learnt about the classification of the cell. Classification of the cell or classification of the organisms. All the organisms are classified into two categories based upon the presence of cells in the body. Based upon the presence of cells in the body, all the organisms are classified into two categories. That is unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. unicellular and multicellular organisms. So what is meant by unicellular organisms? The organisms which are having single cell present in the body. Those organisms are called unicellular organisms. So what are the examples for the unicellular organisms? That is amoeba, paramecium and euglena. These are the examples for the unicellular organism. Here the single cell operates the entire life process present in the body. What is meant by multicellular organisms? Multi means more. The organisms which are having more than single cell. Those organisms are called multicellular organisms. What are the examples? Plants and animals are the examples for the multicellular organisms. Plants and animals are the examples for the multicellular organisms. These are the some topics which were discussed in our previous classes or earlier classes. So what we are going to learn now? So we are going to learn about the some parts of the cell. Some parts of the cell. Some parts of the cell. These parts are also called as cell organelles. Cell organelles. Here in this class we also learned about the structure and functions of the cell. We discussed about structure and functions of the cell organelles. Okay, next one is studying cells. How do we study these cells? We know that cells are small and microscopic. How do we study? For this we require a special instrument, that is microscope. By using the microscope we can keenly observe the inner parts of this cell. By using the microscope we can keenly observe the inner parts of this cell. Okay, we know that Robert Hooke and Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. Anthony van Leeuwenhoek firstly observes the tiny microorganisms by using the microscope. He is the first person to observe the microorganisms in the microscope. That's why Anthony van Leeuwenhoek is also known as a father of microscopy. Father of microscopy. Because of firstly he observes the tiny microorganisms by using the microscope. Okay, that's why he is also known as a father of microscopy. So there are three types of microscopes are there. First one is simple microscope. Simple microscope. Second one is compound microscope. Compound microscope. And third one is electron microscope. Electron microscope. These are the three types of microscopes which was used by the different scientists. Okay, first of all we take the simple microscope. Simple microscope is the simple instrument which is useful for the usage of outline features. Outline features. By using the simple microscope we can observe the outline features of the cell. Outline features of the cell, as well as we can also observe the stomata as well. We can also observe the stomata as well by using the simple microscope. Next one is a compound microscope. By using the compound microscope we can observe the some inner parts of the cell. Those parts, that is like nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm, chloroplast and other parts of the cell. By using the compound microscope we can keenly observe those parts of the cell. But if you want to study the more details about the inner parts of the cell, for this we require a powerful microscope. We require a powerful microscope, that is electron microscope. Okay, by using the electron microscope we can observe the some inner parts like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, nucleolus, vesicles and other parts of this cell. and other parts of the cell. Most of the scientists and the research scholars, most of the scientists and research scholars uses the microscope, that is they uses the electron microscope for their studies. The study of cells is also known as cytology. The study of cells is also called as cytology.